The last topic, really, we're going to club in the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears together because, quite simply, you talk about losing, and the 49ers lose to the Seahawks 41-6, very big margin. The Rams the Bears lose to the Rams in overtime 20-17. But the 49ers got completely smashed. The Bears were competitive till the end. Probably could have gone for a 2-point conversion on that last drive to try and win the game. And that was actually surprising that they didn't, considering Ben Johnson's heritage from being at Detroit in a team that goes for it all and doesn't really play it safe. I think both of these teams can really walk out of this playoff run with both of their heads held high. I think they've both been absolutely fantastic and remarkable. The 49ers have overcome challenges with injuries all season and have called up guys who should be nowhere near starting in this team and have played at a really, really high quality. And actually, I think that may pay them dividends moving forward because I think some of these guys, they would have never started. They may have found a few sort of shining stars come out of nowhere that, let's face it, are going to be relatively cheap on their contract situation as well. And then the Bears have had their problems as well. They've not, it's not been smooth sailing for them either, but we've seen Ben Johnson, first-time head coach, come into this team and really develop Caleb even further when there was people really last year saying that, wow, Caleb, it might be they might move on quite quick from him. In the off-season when they went, remember when Tyler Badgett got signed? Got that extension, and we were like, he's going to start him the whole season. He's going to bench Caleb if he gets 2 bad games. And I just think these two have both been, well, the Bears especially have been a team that have like dragged me to the television a lot this year. Either one of you can go ahead on this because I think we've gone from being very negative about two teams maybe to a lot of positivity, I think, shining through for both of these teams.
Yeah, the Bears, it's just gelled now, hasn't it? I was skeptical at the start of whether the partnership would work because I think that their skill set don't blend together. Equally, it has worked because scripted plays for the start of the game from Ben Johnson have worked, and then off-script plays in the fourth quarter for Caleb Johnson have worked, and he seems to have helped him. I think you spoke about it last week, Fred, that he doesn't turn the ball over. He's worked well with a young set of wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, even a point to the season. And it's been a very successful year for Chicago. I think they've done really, really well. And yeah, I've got no qualms. They've got to say, yeah, we were in it. We could have done it. We've had a good year. We'll build. We'll move on. They have the opportunity now to go into the draft and go, we can pick all defensive players if we want, because I think they're fine on offense now. And they could go all in on defense, which is a great situation to have when you have a offensive head coach, because they can get the best out of lower round offensive players from the draft, and you can go high end value picks on defense. I think we spoke about it before the show. They may even move off of one of their wide receivers and keep the cap space down as well. So they're in a great position for the future. They are. I don't know whether you want me to move on to the 49ers or whether Adam wants to come in and talk about the Bears quickly, as he loves the Bears.
Yeah, I love the Bears. I think if you want to talk about the game specifically, I think Ben Johnson's coaching let them down. This constant desire to go on fourth down, which means that they've missed out on.
Yeah,
on
I was going to say this. Do you think both of you? Do you think young coaches and first-time head coaches, especially when you get to the playoffs, you shouldn't be going on fourth down when the score's like in the first quarter?
There's no need.
Get the points early on the board, because look at the difference it would have made later on in the game. Yeah, is this something you think younger coaches are going to do through playing Madden their whole lives, or do you think this is the way it's going to go? Because it's definitely not the right decision. Kick the field goal.
He's got it from Dan Campbell, isn't it?
Say again.
He's got it from Dan Campbell, isn't he? Because that's what he does.
I think it's a culture. I think it depends on the culture you've come from, really, in the culture tree you've sort of been around. And I think that, we are seeing it more because it's stats and variables, isn't it? And maybe they believe it's about getting as many points as we can on, and it's about showcasing, getting that in touchdowns and everything like that. But really, like, yeah, them small amount of points can make a huge difference when it comes into the fourth quarter. And I think I don't know, maybe it's sort of a testing. It's maybe you get a defense that's pretty good in the first quarter. You go, why don't we just poke them now rather than when they're really feeling themselves in the third or the fourth, really, when they've made some good plays or maybe an interception or a couple of good stops and they're on a little bit of roll. And maybe they're thinking it's working against the momentum, I suppose, of a defense. And also it does give me opportunity to maybe shock them a little bit and use something different. Hey, I don't know whether I love it or hate it, because I think it's so perspective for every fan and everyone sitting there to go whether I think they should have done or shouldn't have done. I definitely think in the first quarter it's something you shouldn't really be doing. I think it's about getting the points on the board and sort of working and stuff like that. And I think also as well, you get the points on the board, you can manipulate and craft drives further in the game to how you want them to go. It was a classic case. What was it? It was the Bears Rams game last night where there was like 11 minutes. It was 11 minutes and they got it down to like 2 minutes. I can't remember if it was the Rams or the Bears now for the life of me, but it was one of them in the fourth quarter. And I was like, that is such a smart manipulation of the time of the clock, because you know where you need to get it to. And it just gives you more. It's a little bit like the timeouts. All the timeouts, apart from that game, apart from the game, the Rams-Bears game where they did use them a little bit fast. No, it was the Patriots-Texans game where the Texans were having to use them fast because they weren't set. All the games, the timeouts, they've kept them for ages and ages and ages. They're like really, really far in. They've been a lot more, I don't know whether that's the standard, where the teams have been a little bit more switched on about it. But I don't know, Adam, you can continue on from me.
Well, I think it's about the situation. It's the situation you find yourself in at the time. And it's about so there is no right or wrong answer for going for it on fourth down, in respect of well, you might find yourself in a position where it makes sense to do it. And that's fair enough. The idea of doing it straight away just seems strange. And it didn't work against Green Bay either. Like that, they struggled at the beginning. It was their defense that really stepped up in the second half. And actually, in this game, their defense really stepped up as well. But it was this sort of going for it every single time on fourth down makes no sense at all. And then you end up halfway through the game, and he did this. He was on fourth. It was like 4th and 3 or something, and he kicked the field goal. And it's like, well, now you've just gone away from your whole theory because you put yourself in a position where you're in trouble. And it's just like, you don't need to do it. So I think if they want to continue down this, if he's going to continue down this route, I think it's going to come back to bite him more times than not. So I don't really get that. As for the 49ers, like you say, I think so many injuries, I thought they did really well to get as far as they did. And going up away to Seattle, that game, they were just blown out from the beginning, and that was the end of it. But yeah, just too many injuries, and they couldn't really get past it.
I think also with them, the Niners, a little bit, it's part of me thinks that maybe this gives them opportunity a little bit to move on from some of their older guys as well. A little bit, because they did
that last year, though, didn't they? They moved on.
I think they might do it again.
And Greenlaw and players like that, but
I don't know. I think they might have to do it again though, with money, and I don't know. I just think you do. I'm obviously their schedule has been favorable this year. It has been a favorable schedule, but I just think it might give them a bit of well, we could probably trim the fat here a little bit more, or maybe reinvest it into younger players, or like I said, some of these younger guys, some of these other guys who have been given a bit of an opportunity to play and have maybe played well. It gives, maybe they've find one or two diamond in the roughs where they're like, oh wow, like this player played really, really well. We should be giving him starting reps. And again, they're not going to be on a big contract. I don't know. They might have got a lot out of this season with how much injuries have happened.
They've had a fantastic year, and all it's proved again is Shanahan is a fantastic, unbelievable coach. But it may have hindered them a little bit because it's also showcased how good Robert Saleh is. So he'll be out. There's no doubt that
he's gone.
He's got to be getting a head coach job, surely. With the names that are out there, he's got to be given a second chance. I don't think he was given a fair roll of the dice at the Jets, and I think he's a guy that could do well. So they're going to lose that. We've always said they're old and brittle. That's not going to change, and they probably could have done with the draft capital being better for them rather than get into the playoffs and having a win. I think their Super Bowl was playing the Eagles essentially. I think winning that game when they shouldn't have is the biggest victory for them. I think they knew they weren't going to get any further or potentially win it. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because if you're not playing for the Super Bowl and you can't make it, surely the future is the key. But we already know Shanahan's a genius, and we know that they've got areas of weakness. So great season, but not sure how well it benefits them.
Mac Jones gets a starting job?
I think that definitely, with the quarterback class being so poor of what it is in the draft, then Malik Willis and Mac Jones, I think, are the top targets for people to go after if they need a bridge quarterback or they want to try and find the next Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. I think they're the two that people are going to have to punt at, and there's lots of teams that require that. So I know me and Adam are going to be diving into that come the off season very shortly. So we would definitely be talking about those names. Adam, is there anyone else you'd add to that?
What, quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think there's much, is there? That's around. A lot of this seems to be. I mean, Malik Willis is the big one. I think
he's a free agent, isn't he? So
yeah, he's a free agent. There's a lot of talk that he's going to end up in Miami. Sullivan, who's just become the GM, has come from the Packers, so that kind of makes a lot of sense that he'll go there, kind of be the bridge quarterback for a year, and then just see where they end up.
I'd take him in Pittsburgh, to be honest.
Well, you can't because he's going to Miami. I just told you.
I'm saying I would take either of them in Pittsburgh for a year.
No, you got Aaron Rodgers coming back.
He's not coming back.
He's not.
Yeah, he is. Big Mike's coming in. Yeah.
Oh, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Just to end on, the Lions are hiring former Arizona Cardinals OC Drew Petzing as their new OC, which I don't know anything about Drew Petzing, and we should.
I think he was
that's
great.
The right noises.
Yeah. I called for him to be sacked halfway through the year, I think, at the Cardinals.
You did. Really? Wow. I'm trying to think of who that's going to help. Sam Laporta, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, Trey McBride, I suppose. Yeah. Everyone's now scrambling to get Sam Laporta.
Great. Yeah. It's not going to help the wide receivers. I know that much.
I've already scrambled to get Malik Willis in our Dynasty League because I realised he was on the waiver wire, and I was like, oh, well, if I just took him away for a minute, he's going to be a starter somewhere, I'd like to think. So we'll see.